mean, she says yes until the moment she gives you that one no. It's still great. So I'm like, I don't know how they just didn't see that. Like, okay,
Oh no,
if
they
she
saw it. They just didn't care.
Real life. If this shit ain't real life, this shit ain't
If it ain't real life, it just ain't real. Real life street stars. You know what time it is.
This was also around the time of the summer solstice kicking in. And I think a lot of people forget that these people are involved in occult behavior and dark arts. And around those times where the moon is changing, they're doing rituals. They're sitting there, they're wishing for what they want, they're hoping for what they want. But I have my own prayer group, and we were praying at the same time that God's will would be done. And while they sat there and they stoked all of they little, hey, Diddy's not guilty. Diddy's not guilty. I wish they would say he's not guilty of all of his charges, because he was found guilty of two very serious federal charges. And I wish people would stop pretending like that ain't happened and like that's not real. Like, it's sad. The need to pander to power, because that's all it is. It's pandering to power. You wanted that man to get out because you feel as though he's powerful. He's a symbol of your power. And guess what? They all had to go down to Star Island without him and have barbecue without him. Sure did. And he's still in there. Oh, you mad? Oh, you all upset that Diddy? Oh, you poor things.
the judge
Maybe
did.
maybe you should try my God. He
There you
won't
go.
let you down.
There you go.
Yeah, the judge is looking. He's looking at a lot of things. There's a lot of things wrong. There's all kinds of jury tampering, and I think it's obvious at this point. This juror 25 running around, he's really talking too much. He's saying too much. And I'm not saying that Gene Deal is the authority on all things federal, but if Gene says that he talked to a contact and he used to work for them boys,
Mm.
if Gene says they coming back with another indictment, I don't know. Yeah. Not only that, the Mann Act is a violent act, and they went into court saying that he's violent. They
Right.
conceded to that.
Right.
Why would you let a violent felon out on the street? I mean, they was all excited, and they was moving it up and moving it up, and everybody was sitting there like the guy with the little travel baby oil that I just showed you. He was out in front of the courthouse on the day when they was doing, to find out when they was pushing the bill, and he was upset because there nothing happened. So they decided that they was gonna, I don't know, do a baby oil dance and hope that something would change. I don't know.
Mm.
These people are retarded.
We
It's funny though, because you want to know what? On my footage that I have from when I was there on the first day, questioning whether or not this was going to be a fair jury, and looking at the layout of everything, that same man with the handkerchief over his face and the baby oil running up behind the woman looking like a jerk, he interviewed with me. And do you want to know what he had to say to me? That he didn't think it was going to be a fair jury, and he didn't think this jury was going to convict Diddy of anything.
Mm.
Isn't that funny? A YouTuber on the first day of trial, with all of the problems that they had putting that jury together, was pretty much convinced already. Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
It sounds like there was a plan while he's running around with his little travel oil.
It,
I mean, it's just when I look
it,
at all of the YouTubers that turn this turn this shot this trial into a show and a media circus, it was disgusting. I'm really upset with the fact that the court allowed that much YouTube involvement to be there at all.
Right.
That shouldn't have happened. The jury should have been sequestered, because I truly doubt that any of them made it home without finding a YouTuber waiting at their doorstep in the morning or late there at night to talk with them and let them know a few things or two. I wouldn't be
Exactly.
surprised at all.
Eight of the jurors were men. Do you feel that played a factor in all this?
No, not really. Not really, because the truth is, all of those men, any of them that couldn't see their way to I feel bad for them. I do. Because if you could sit there and listen to all of that filth from that deviant and not see how badly he needs to be off the streets and out of society, then something wrong with you. But what I will say about a bunch of middle-aged men is that most of them are worried about their retirement and very susceptible to taking large payments in cash.
Right. Yeah, the one thing that was hard to understand is that they played it to where they said, try to look like Cassie was part of it or she wanted it. And when you have something as a simple graping word, let's say a girl says no for months, years, and I mean she says yes until the moment she gives you that one no, it's still great. So I'm like, I don't know how they just didn't see that. Like, okay,
Oh no,
if
they
she
saw it. They just didn't care, right? Because she's a whore and she's a slut. And she got paid $30 million. What were they gonna get? They were getting $75 a day. She got 30 million. Haven't you noticed that's all these men when they talk about Cassie, that's all they talk about how much money they got? That's because they jealous that they didn't get it. The question is, would you be willing to do what she had to do to get it?
Mhm.
They also jealous of what she got in her pocket. Y'all willing to do it? Because if so, that makes her the toughest G. That really do. It make her the toughest G. It make her tougher than all of y'all. No, y'all just want to get a quick payday, talking crap about her. And like I said before, 30 million wasn't enough. The humiliation, the problems, the simple fact that somebody said allegedly during one of her pregnancies before this last one that she was actually on Suboxone. Suboxone is what they use to get you off a heavy narco. She was still struggling with addiction. You know, I never understood how men feel so comfortable slut shaming women who've been in real terrible situations. Listening to Vlad sit there on Pierce talk about how she didn't have any talent and nobody else was gonna spend that kind of money on her and she loved it and she this and she that and she this and she that and free Diddy and Diddy this and Diddy that. Well, I want to ask Vladimir something. When you gonna send your daughter to go be the diddler's new girlfriend? Since it's really not that much of a problem. Matter of fact, every last one of y'all that got some cash money to talk about Cassie, you know, he the way he like kissing his mama in the mouth. When you gonna put Granny on the block for it,
Come on.
huh? Or maybe y'all want to add him 20 to it and whack 100 and put your wife on the block for it. You got a black wife, don't you, Vladimir Lyuski? She might like it just like Cassie did. Like I'm just trying to figure it out. 30 million, right? That's what she did it all for. She did it all for the money. She did it all for the cash. That's what you're saying? So then why don't y'all put y'all on the block for it? Real rap. Like, I'm gonna
It-
tell you something right now. All of the weird that I did when I was in life. I walked away for a very good reason because I felt myself losing my humanity. The kind of that I was allowing myself to do to people for money. I was losing my humanity. And when you get to the point where you lose your humanity and you're able to do anything to anybody for bread, you lost, G. You're lost. So when I think about all of the things that I've heard that Cassie went through and all of the stuff that she was doing, I don't hear some money hungry slut who was looking to groom the whole world and take advantage of a bunch of men and exert her feministic sexual power over everybody. Like I don't hear that at all. What I hear is somebody that gave up on themselves and felt as though this is all I'm good for. So I might as well make the best of it. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. I heard that. And if you've never been in the life, you really shouldn't talk about it. For real. You shouldn't talk about it. You know, when I first started kicking and doing real strange, horrible, you know, things to people for money as a dominatrix. The stuff that people used to ask me to do, part of the reason why I had no problem with doing it was because I was abused myself. I use it as catharsis. All of the pain and the hurt that I felt as a victim, I took it out on them and they paid me well to do it. And everybody agreed at the end of the day that it was okay. Until I started realizing it wasn't okay. If you've never been in a position to have to live that life or resort to any of those things or do any of those things, you really don't have any business talking about it. That's like lay people trying to explain what it's like for a surgeon to lose a patient on the table. You might be able to imagine that it's terrible. You might be able to imagine that it's a horrible thing to be in charge of procuring and saving a life or helping improve a life, and then instead you lose a life. Like you might be able to have an opinion about it, but gee, you don't know what that feels like until you've been there. You don't know how many times that physician is going to see the face of that person that he lost. I know plenty of people who have lost patients, whether they be nurse practitioners, doctors, whatever the case may be. And some of them have had to walk away from their career just because they couldn't get over that one moment. Who would I be to say, man, you gonna quit your job? You making $8 million a year as a surgeon. You gonna quit your job because one person died? Man, you got plenty of clients that lived. I would sound like a for saying that, wouldn't I?
Yeah, come on.
I mean, I would, wouldn't I?
Exactly.
If I said, man, that probably, man, he was half dead already, man. You needed to be glad you put your hands on him, man. Yeah, man, he was out of here anyway. I mean, it ain't going to affect your malpractice insurance, is it? Like, I would look like for talking like that, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
So how the do any of you think you look any different talking about Cassie or any other woman that way? Like all of you are whack, corny, and hateful because you're not mad at Cassie for all of those things you heard about. You're mad at Cassie because she's $30 million richer than you. I don't know. Call up Clayton and see if he wants to do a revival. Maybe y'all can go find you a billionaire. Do it, whore. Put your on the line. Get you 30 million. Because that's all y'all are. Y'all some hoe ass niggas.
Shout out Reallyfe Street Stars, nigga. Move. Hey.